Thank you guys for tuning in. I am King Williams. I am your host. I am a journalist here in Atlanta. You are now listening to the Neighborhood Watch podcast, and I would love for you guys to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast at, whether it be on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcast from. And if you haven't already, make sure you sign up for my newsletter at iamkingwilliams.substack.com. Again, iamkingwilliams.substack.com. I'm actually here talking with two people who have a great organization they're going to present about here in Atlanta. And this is part of the ongoing COVID conversations, talking to people whose industries and occupations have been affected by COVID-19 and how they're balancing that. So we're going to be talking to Mrs. Gwendolyn Napier, and we're also talking to Gloria Elder, and we're going to be talking about their organization, and I'm going to have them talk more about what the organization is, and then eventually how you guys can help as well. All right, so we'll start out with Gwen first. Gwen, can you tell people who you are?
Sure. I want to say, first of all, thank you, King, for having us on the program today. My name is Gwendolyn Napier, and I am a member of Kuumba Storytellers of Georgia, and I serve as the treasurer this time in the capacity of the organization. I was the previous president in 2016, but now I am serving as Kuumba's treasurer.
And Gloria?
Okay, and I am Gloria Elder, and I am the president of the Kuumba Storytellers of Georgia, and I have to thank Gwen for inviting me to be on this program. I have been a member of Kuumba for more than 12 years and have served in several capacities, and so I've walked through several of the activities that Kuumba does and feel like I have earned the right to just step up and be president.
Okay, I like that. And so what does storytelling mean for Kuumba? What does that mean, and what's that makes that different from other places that say they also do storytelling?
Okay, first of all, Kuumba Storytellers of Georgia is the only African-American storytelling group in the metropolitan Atlanta area, even in the South, if I go on to say that much, in the Southeast region that we live in today. And Kuumba has a special mission, and that means that we want to actually perpetuate storytelling through literacy. We want to make sure people understand that this is not just storytelling, but we work with children. And we want to actually encourage them to read more and to tell their own stories. We also educate and entertain. So we have several activities that we do in the community.
Okay.
King, if I must say so, adding to Gloria's statement, Kuumba was really organized in 1995. And so this is the 25th year for our organization. And the way that it was organized, we had several members who went to a national storytelling festival in Jonesboro, Tennessee. And when they came back, we had members who were a member of the National Association of Black Storytellers. And from that particular organization, Kuumba was birthed, and we took time to start an affiliate in Georgia. So that's how the birthing of Kuumba really came about, you know, based on from Jonesboro to NAB, so we call that National Association. Now Kuumba is 25 years out there, as Gloria said, in the community, serving people and families on a daily basis now.
Okay. And for you guys in particular, you guys also have a special relationship with the Wrens Nest. Can you explain what that is?
Gloria, go ahead.
Yes, King. We have recently been invited to join the Wrens Nest series of storytelling that it will be actually on Facebook and other mediums. And so we got that opportunity just about a week or so ago. And I know that Gwen and Cheddar Galloway and some few others in the community, I know you know Akbar Imhotep and several others, and I may be missing some names, who have been a part of Wrens Nest for a long time and who have been out there telling stories. But now we have this opportunity to actually be on their on their podcast so that we can actually share more and get our names out there more. As storytellers in the metropolitan Atlanta area, more of us will be able to do that. In fact, I will be one of the tellers on the Wrens Nest Facebook.
When does that start?
That starts in April. I think it's already started. It started in April, but I know it'll go through from May through June as we speak now.
Well, King, it initially started about 2 weeks ago. Our first virtual storytelling teller was Cheddar Galloway, and he shared a story about Brigada, and we got a lot of wonderful reviews on that particular video. And just last weekend, I told a story from the Wrens Nest virtual storytelling area on Brer Rabbit and Brer Bear Goes a Fishing. And this particular weekend, as we're speaking right now, Jerry G. White is telling a virtual story right now at the Wrens Nest. So it's like Laura said, it's ongoing, and it will be going on through, I want to say June or July, and we're just happy that Kuumba is part of that particular project.
Oh, good. Okay. And so also, I want to ask now in regards to that, storytelling in Georgia can mean a lot of things. So what about Georgia? Are these stories specific to Georgia, or are these specific to the African-American experience, or like what are the stories that are being told?
Well, we tell all kinds of stories, but of course we favor our own stories, our African-American stories. So these stories can be stories that we have written by ourselves. As you heard Gwen say, we also have told rabbit stories. We've told African folk tales, just different kinds of stories. But the main goal is for us to actually tell stories by us, about us.
Also, King, I wanted to add to Gloria's statement, we have a membership strong of 60 storytellers, and within the organization, the storytellers have their own storytelling businesses. And so on our website, you can so easily go and choose a storyteller in which you may want to come to your organization. As Gloria said, there are folk tales, we do fables, we do fairy tales, we do historical portraits, it goes on. We've even taken time to do a lot of stories and videos, as I shared with you, about the COVID-19 crisis, to let people know that Kuumba is not just sitting still. We'll try to inform the community that we are working storytellers and we are griots who are out here on a mission.
And what was the impetus for doing that?
You mean the video or just the stories?
What was the impetus for going in the direction that you guys are going now?
With COVID-19, you mean?
Yes.
Well, Gloria, may I?
Yes.
Okay. You know, as of right now, since we are all sheltered in place and we're not able to go out and do our performances, a lot of performances have been canceled. And Gloria would take time to tell you what events Kuumba had to cancel based on COVID-19 crisis. As individual storytellers, I've had to cancel, I know, about 5 or 6 myself, and all because we are now sheltered in place and we're not able to perform. We're doing, like Gloria said, virtual storytelling. We're doing everything that we can to let the community know that we're telling stories to inform them, to promote, and to serve. Gloria?
Yes, and the other thing about that is, when we first were sheltered in, we had canceled several of our events. And one was our Mama Tales, which comes up this May. And of course, we may have some opportunities to tell stories this May if we can go ahead and get set up for this opportunity on Zoom. So we'll find that out soon. Other things we canceled were of course, we have 2 meetings a month, and one is the first Saturday in the month, and that is our board meeting. But our general meeting is always the second Saturday of the month. And we've been able to actually continue to have those meetings by conference call, but we want to be able to connect even closer by getting on some video conferencing. So that's what we're interested in doing. We also have to, postponed some of our other special events, like I had a strategic planning meeting actually that I had to cancel. But fortunately, we were able to break up into smaller groups, and committees are working on some of those activities. The other hardships that we've had is that, like Gwen said, a lot of people have had to miss a lot of their own personal storytellings because so much was actually canceled during this point in time.
And not to mention, Gloria, we were going to have the National Storytelling Network Conference here in June. And that was going to be really an outstanding festival that Kuumba was going to be involved in, but that has been canceled. All our major festivals have been canceled, and not to mention about Mama Tales, King. I think that would have been the 13th year, Gloria, for our Mama Tales Festival. And for that to be canceled, I can just imagine how the community is really, really devastated, because that is a concert where we get a lot of people from everywhere to come out and hear our Mama Tale concert, and that goes right into Mother's Day.
And what is Mama's Tales?
Where you can tell them.
Mama Tales was created by one of our members, Ernestine Brown. And Mama Tales was set up so that we could be able to honor mothers and mother figures during the Mother's Day month, which is May. And we have set up to do that, and we have had different themes. What Mama told me not to come. Every year we just have so many different stories. And a lot of these stories are true stories, and they are created and written and developed by the storytellers themselves who are telling these stories. So we end up having such great stories and to tell. So you can imagine, King, how much we're going to miss being able to stand in front of our families who come out. We have so many families and children who come out to hear these stories. So Mama Tales is, like I said, is 13 years old, and we have been doing that and having such good responses from the community. And we also have Tattletales who come into that. We have a Tattletales group component of our storytelling group. And this was started by Esther Culver, one of our members and tellers. And she actually gets children to perform. And she has these children come in, and they are groomed and they are taught how to tell. And they actually perform in front of groups as well. So you can imagine what a great experience this is for youth when they come out and learn how to stand before the public. So young, and you can just see them grow and develop and grow and develop. And incidentally, a lot of our storytellers have been to the NAB Conference, which is our affiliate umbrella organization. And that stands for the National Association of Black Storytellers. Our youth have gone to those conferences year after year, and they have won awards, first, second, third, outstanding awards. So we are very proud to be able to say that the spin of this, we have organizations that we are saying we are bringing the youth on, because we know how important it is that each one teaches one. We want this community of storytellers, African American storytellers, specifically Kuumba, to continue.
But
Okay,
King,
now
I want you to think,
what are you
King,
saying?
I don't want you to think that, I'm sorry, King, I don't want you to think that we'll only take time to honor our mothers, but we also have Papa Tales, and we also have grandparents' tales, okay? Just for the records, okay?
Okay, no, I definitely understand. I wanted to ask, though, is that you guys are an organization like many right now that are trying to figure out what to do next. So what does that look for your organization in particular going forward? Because we're not really sure what's going to happen with the pandemic, but how are you guys adjusting to that?
Well, we've been creative. Kuumba means creativity. So we are being very creative. And of course, number one, we have to be positive. Going forward, we have to understand that this too shall pass. And that in the meantime, we're not going to sit still and not do anything. So we continue to meet, we continue to plan, we continue to look forward to what things that are happening. How can we actually do that? For an example, Mama Tales, it's May. And we have not planned a Mama Tales in person, but doesn't mean that we won't have some Mama Tale activities going on. So we are thankful for having video opportunities, video conferencing, and then conference calls and small committee meetings that are continuing to plan. Sure, it's hard, it's difficult, and it's one of these times that it does not just affect Kuumba, it's affecting everybody. So we know that we have to keep moving forward.
And I got a question for both of you all, which is, you guys, I'm assuming, a nonprofit, correct?
That's correct.
Yes, that's correct.
And so have you guys had any effect on your donations as of now to your organization or any of your commitments so far?
Well, I can say this, King, for our donations and for our membership, in times like these, I'm sure people are holding on to what they have because they are unsure. But it doesn't mean that people are not actually saying, we really still want to be a part of this organization. We have slowed down a little bit about our donations. They're not coming in like they usually would. But I can say that we are getting interest still in people calling us, saying, I want to be a part of this group. I am interested in what you're doing. So we are hopeful, and we continue as we continue to move forward. And we will do our part by actually continuing to put our name out there and show people what we're doing, and in the hopes that, you know, more people will continue. And I'm sure they will continue to come.
Also, I want to say that based on what Gloria was saying, that on our Kuumba website, there is a place where the public, if they're able, they can really make donations to our organization. We are nonprofit, as Gloria mentioned, and we rely on our membership to sustain us. But any donations that the public, if they're able to really send to us, the website has information, and there is an area where the public can donate. I'm almost sure that before we leave, Gloria can give you more information about the website where they can make their donations, okay?
Okay. And now I want to ask you guys, well, you ladies, I'm sorry, in particular, what does the programming look like for Kuumba for the rest of the year?
Things are still up in the air, but our intentions going forward. Right now, we do plan to have our special events. Number one, we have a breast cancer storytelling event that comes up in October. We're planning for that. We also have our 25th anniversary, which comes up in December. We're planning for that. And we're also looking forward to actually being a part of the NAB Conference, which comes in November. Although we aren't sure what's going to happen, we are actually in planning stages. We have to keep moving forward.
Okay.
Exactly. And even though we are trying to stay sheltered in place very safely, we understand that the governor has said that you can go out and do certain things. But as Gloria mentioned, when we have performances and programs, we're in auditoriums and places where people have to be really close together. So I guess based on an organization, we have to go back and think about how can we space the audience out. All of those dilemmas must be thought about, but we just thank God that we can zoom in and have programs on Zoom and iPods and conference calls. We're just not sitting back just doing absolutely nothing. We are storytellers, and storytellers, King, it goes back many, many years. I cannot even recall anyone just sitting down doing absolutely nothing. We are the Kuumba Storytellers, and we have a mission, and we will make sure that we still take care of the public, whether it's going to be on the computer, a conference call. We will find ways to reach that community.
And I want to ask in regards to, this is a more existential question. With regards to Black storytelling, are you guys worried about that going forward in the future at all?
Black storytelling is here to stay.
Okay.
You know that there for me, I am not, I have no concern as to whether or not Black storytelling will continue. It will. As I sit here thinking about Black storytelling, King, I heard my first story sitting at the feet of my grandfather. And that's what encouraged me to want to continue to tell, because he told me about who I am and where I came from. And we have to pass that on. We have been given these gifts, And these gifts must go forward. We will continue to tell Black stories.
And as they say, King, we are the stories. It's up to us to tell the stories. And as we say, when we go to the NAB Conference, Black storytelling has changed my mind. Oh, I've been changed because Black storytelling has changed my name. That's what we do every year at the conference. And as Gloria said, we know that Black storytelling is alive and it will remain alive because we are the voices and it's up to us to share the stories.
I like that. And wrapping up and closing, what is something that you guys want people to know about Kuumba that we haven't talked about already?
How to make contact with us, how to reach us. You can go to the web. We are at Storytellers. We are at the www.kuumbastorytellers.org. And when you go on our Facebook, you will see all of the activities that we do. You will see all the storytellers that are out there available to tell. And you will also see a donate button. And that button gives you an opportunity to donate, but you can also join by going to our website. So this is one of the things that you would see. And another thing I want people to know is that as we move forward, we will be sharing more stories on our Kuumba Do Tell site, where you will be able to hear some of our COVID-19 stories while we are sheltering in. So please go to Kuumba Storytellers of Georgia.org and check us out.
Okay.
Also, as Gloria mentioned, even though we are an African American storytelling organization, we are open for all people, just not for African American people to join Kuumba. It's open for anyone who really enjoys stories because we are a joint organization with other partners, and they're now all just African American people. We're open to anyone who is a lover of stories, and we really invite storytellers to join Kuumba because we also have partners with some other storytellers, and it goes on and on and on. So it's open for anyone who has a love for storytelling. Please come join us.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And ladies, I'm sorry, that's a bad, I do that all the time. My apologies. Well, thank you all again for taking time out today to even talk about what your organization is doing. And I want to make sure one more time that people know, how can they support, how can they donate?
Okay. You may go to www.kuumbastorytellersofgeorgia.org, and you may go to the donate button and donate to Kuumba. Anything that you provide is welcome. Whatever amount is welcome. And more than anything, we'd like for you to join us because everybody has a story to tell. And come and join Kuumba because not only that, we do workshops to help individuals learn how to become storytellers or to become better storytellers. So that's one of the other things that we do. We are a resource organization as well. So don't forget, Kuumbastorytellersofgeorgia.org. We appreciate that.
Well, thank you all. Once again, thank you, Gwen, and thank you, Gloria, for taking the time out today to talk to me about your organization. And I really want you guys to support what they're doing today. For anyone else who's listening today or anyone who watches on YouTube, please, once again, support them. We'll make sure we have all the links in the descriptions below on this. And once again, I'm King Williams. If wherever you heard this at, please subscribe. And if you haven't already, please sign up for my newsletter at iamkingwilliams.substack.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you, King.
Thank
you. Bye now.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.